We are live. We're doing something huge here, and this is really, I'm going to tell you, this is for the people that are ready, willing, and able to stop making excuses for the narcissist and actually move forward towards healing. I'm doing a multi-stream once again, so if you see me looking back and forth, that's because I'm trying to pay attention all over the place. Thank you for joining Wonder Woman. What we've been talking about all week long, and I usually don't go live on Saturday, is radical acceptance, or the act of stopping from making excuses for the narcissist. And this is what we do. And this is why we get trapped in a trauma bond. Um, I guess since I started the Now movement, I have been just creating stuff. Just creating stuff to ensure that people find the easy way out. Again, I'll always say, if you just send me a message, I do have a ton of free resources and I will send those out to you. I have no problem with that. The thing is, we're working on Real Talk No Other Way. And that's a huge project, but then things got to get done. It's definitely got to get done. Hey, Blessed, what's going on? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Real Talk No Other Way. Just to give you a little bit of background, Real Talk is an IP that I've had since like 2012. And it's always been loosely relationship based. Hey Rachel, thank you for joining. And hey Blessed. Yeah, so it was always relationship based. Saw some success in 2012 with it. Ended up leaving Albany to move out to Jersey. Started doing a whole bunch of other stuff, trying to balance out my life. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you. Oh, I appreciate you. But yeah, so I sorted out my life, and then around 2015, I want to say 2015, I picked it back up again, and I really liked doing it. I really did. It was kind of scattered and all over the place, but once again, relationship based. I started an internet radio platform back in during that time period when the whole world was shut down. I started. It was based off of my original LLC, World of Red Media, and that was one of the anchor shows. Again, relationship based. It's crazy because sometimes we have these things that we believe to be projects that we start and then it keeps on growing. And Real Talk is the same thing. It just kept on growing. Went through the last NARC. Actually brung them on to the project. Don't know why to this day. Um, Brung the NARC on. Had to get through the trauma bond. So that definitely was nothing that I was thinking about. I thought that I was going to restart. I was going to give it a reboot and make it community based. And then I had to get through this trauma bond thing. Um, and that's how the Now movement came along. But what happened after that? I'm cleaning off drives, looking through my computer, trying to reclaim some space on like the main computer I work on, and I came across some assets that I built for it. And I felt so I'm just like staring at it, and I was like, oh my God, I miss doing this. And then I started working on stuff for the Now movement, and I was like, wait a second. This would be perfect for what we're doing right now. This would be perfect for giving survivors a voice, you know. And I think in 2017 I had, again, bucket list stuff. I had started a show on Amazon Prime. I got through like 6 episodes, but it was on Amazon Prime. Bucket list done. I checked that off of my bucket list. I actually had a show that was broadcast on a major network. Um, but that's what I want to do with Real Talk No Other Way. I want to actually bring it full circle and put it on major networks. Like I'm serious. I'm talking about not YouTube, but YouTube TV, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. I feel that it's something that not only needs to be done, but it's something that I'm quite capable of doing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with that. And part of what I'm doing is because I really hate to beg for money. That's why I don't put my cash app all over the place and stuff like that. Even though I have a nonprofit, I really don't. I think that's one of those things I can't get used to. So, oh, Fit for Life Tina, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I've never been that person. That's why I think somebody told me a lot. Why don't you put up your cash app? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I tend to want to give something to get something. So I created a whole bunch of courses, and they're not overnight things, and there's a lot of thought put into them. But I created courses. I'm going to put the thing up, and you guys can peruse through it. And Tina Tinner, thank you, I appreciate you. And once again, TikTok hates me because it's telling me no internet connection, but yet and so I'm logged. I have no clue. But in any event, since it's not working, I'm just going to tell you that it's in my bio. If you send me a message, I can show you, I can actually walk you down the path of everything that I have as far as courses. Hopefully, TikTok will work and I can use the service plus thing. So, anywho, today, I think I was in Knock Talks Somatic Saturdays. And while I'm zoning out and becoming relaxed, I said, you know what, today's Saturday. Today is usually my clean up everything, get ready for the week, kind of tone it down a bit because I'm like live all week long, twice a day. So I said, let me just tone it down a little bit. And then it just hit me. I was like, okay, so you've got this project that you're working on, which is Real Talk No Other Way. By the way, now No Other Way stands for No Other Way But Forward. If you're trying to get through narcissistic abuse, if you're trying to break free from the trauma bond, you have to put that in your head that there's no other way but forward. It makes the journey just a wee bit easier if you're always looking forward, always looking to the point that you're going to get out of this because you can. We have so many people that, co-host this with me that I consider to be part of the Now movement that will tell you it's possible. And I know for many people, what they're going through right now, and again, it's not like you're not being seen, you are seen. Many people are going through the trauma bond and they really, because you can't talk to anybody. Nobody understands this. Hey, Rachel, thank you for sharing this and thank you for joining me. You know, they don't get it unless they have experienced it, unless they have basically literally lived with a demon. They don't understand what you went through. They don't. And I want people to feel seen. Now there's a caveat to that. I want people to be seen, but I don't want to be one of those movements where we just circle jerk the problem. We all know what the hell the problem is. We got caught up with a demon. We got caught up with a person that had no other thoughts of doing anything else but hurting us, and we actually loved that demon. We didn't know it was a demon, but we loved them. And then we kept on. Hey, Kimberly, thank you for joining. We kept on pouring more and more love into this demon, and what happened was we started losing pieces of ourselves. And then by the end, by the discard or the reverse discard, we found ourselves in this position where we had to find ourselves again. See, I get it. I understand it. I've been there where we had to literally find ourselves again. So yeah, that's what today is about, to let people know that they are seen. But also, this is very important. If you're ready, if you are ready to accept the fact, oh, Dawn Marie, thank you. And you've been here for a while, 400 minutes. Look at you. Um, when you're ready to accept that this person never loved you, hard, difficult, most sour pill in the world to swallow, because you've been trying. You have been trying for I don't know how long. You've been trying to fix the relationship. You've been trying to make sense of this person that sleeps next to you every day. You've been trying to make sense of why you feel the way you do emotionally. You've been trying to make sense of that. But the one thing that you won't do is say that it was fake. The one thing that you won't do is admit to the fact that this person's only goal was to hurt you. You won't admit to the fact that all this person brought into your life was chaos. Some of you have gotten free. Some of Dawn Marie says 22 years. Some of you have gotten free, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just telling from the experience that I went through, and from many of the people that I talked to, many of the people that joined us on this panel. You know, once you leave, that's just the beginning. That's it. It's like you have to. It's almost like you've been dropped into as an empath, like you've been dropped into a foreign country. Now you got to learn the freaking language. You got to learn how to utilize their monetary system. You know, you've got to set up all over again. And once you find yourself free, you think, okay, I'm free and clear. But then comes the hard part, the readjusting. You don't trust anybody. I know this for a fact. You trust no one. Once you saw behind this demon's mask, you did not trust a single soul. You didn't trust your day ones. You didn't trust your friends. And then they kick off the smear campaign. Now everybody's suspect. Now, whenever somebody could be asking you a question about what you're going through, and you're automatically thinking, oh my God, it's another flying monkey. You become what they call hyper vigilant. Everything is a threat. That's why you need to heal. Because, yeah, there's a lot of threats in this world. There's a lot of threats in our lives. There's a lot of threats in our society, but you've gotten away from the worst threat ever. As little kids, we used to think that there was something in the closet or something under the bed, and that would scare the hell out of us. And we're calling our caretakers and saying, I heard something move under the bed. Oh my God, there's a monster under the bed, and you're sitting up there and you're under the blankets, and you're like, oh, somebody come get this monster. And then your caregiver comes in and says, hey, listen, there's no such thing as monsters. They lift up the covers, they go under there. You're hoping whatever's under there doesn't snatch them up. And they're like, see, there's nothing under there. There is nothing under there. But sadly, as empaths, we find out that there are monsters. And they're not in our closet. They're not under our beds. Many a times they're sleeping right next to us. That's a scary thought. So now you've gotten free. Now you're in this state where you're constantly looking for monsters. You promise yourself, I'll never trust anyone again to get into another relationship. After what just happened to me, I will never have that done. You know, and what happens is, and I'm going to tell you something, you'll stay this way until you heal. Until you decide that you're going to heal. And I'm going to tell each and every one of you, I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I'm going to tell you because I went through it. You cannot heal. You cannot fully move forward. Or as Dawn said, reintegrate. You can't do any of this until you do what I say is akin to letting go of the ghost. Because that's the reason why you left. It's because you saw behind their mask. You saw what they truly were. But for some strange reason, you can't let go. And what if I told you they did this on purpose? What if I told you, well, I can tell you everything that they did to you. Thank you for the comments, Dawn Marie. You know, and you're right. You are right, Blessed. They are not going to change. And let me speak to that for a second. No matter how much you try to make deals with them, no matter how much you promised them, no matter how hard you tried to love them, no matter when you became silent when they were raging out, did they ever change? Or was that just the illusion of change, as they call it, future faking? Or were they just quiet enough that your nervous system had a chance to take a deep breath for a second while you waited for the next devaluation? Or hopefully, since you're addicted to this person at this stage, You're waiting for them to walk over to you and give you a hug to make you feel better. What if I told you that was done on purpose? I mean, calculating, strategically done on purpose. They made you all of those promises, but there were no actions, no behaviors to back that up. Dawn Marie says, wasted best years of my life. And many of us feel that way. But I'm going to tell you something. Just like the now movement, no other way but forward. Time marches on. You know, the thing about time is it's very uncaring. Time has always been uncaring. And it's selfish. It's the one thing you can't get back at all. Never. You're not going to get it back. You can't recycle it. You can't say, hey, time, I made a mistake. Can I just go back and correct that? It's not going to happen. But time is also a blessing. Speaking to this guy, and I asked him, I said, yo, how you feeling today? He was like, I made the draft pick. I'm here. That's all I needed. Another day, another moment. And as long as we're doing that oxygen carbon dioxide exchange, that's another moment that we have to make ourselves better. Hey, Lynette, to make ourselves happy, to make ourselves at peace. Oh, thank you, Cheryl, for following me. I appreciate you. Peace, that word that we have not experienced in such a long time. Such a long time. When was the last time after the love bombing stage did you literally experience peace? I'm not talking about the dopamine hits. I mean, hell, let's just go for 48 hours. Let's use that as just like a little litmus. 48 hours. Thank you, Tina, for the follow. When did you experience? This is why I'm telling you, you're dealing with a demon and you need to let go. And I'm here. I'm going to give you the tools that you need today to let go. But all you have to do, don't say it to me. Don't put it in the chat. Don't tell other people. Don't call somebody and say, I'm ready to reclaim my life. Say it to yourself. I have all the tools for every situation that I had to figure out on my own. There was no blueprint out there, but now there is. Coming from a person that actually went through this. Not some student's final paper, not some class at a university from a professor, from someone that has actually gone through this, that understands the damage that it had done, and understands more importantly the importance of reclaiming your identity. If we lost nothing else dealing with this demon, the thing that we lost, the most important thing that we lost was our identity. Because throughout the whole situation, all we did was try to keep the peace. And how did you keep the peace? You didn't talk about how you was feeling. Hey, love, how you doing? You didn't talk about how you were feeling. You didn't talk about, the facts of, hey, listen, there's something wrong here. There's something broken. Can we just sit down and talk and try to fix it? How much did they give back? Oh, thank you, Tracy Evolving, for the gift. I appreciate you so much. You're the bestest. The thing is that they don't care about your time and knowledge provides proof you are healed. Thank you so much, Blessed, for saying that. But yeah, I mean, just to get back to Tina, is they don't care about anything. They don't. And you knew that. They didn't care about anything. Everything was delusional. Just see, this is not me trying to put things in your head. You think back. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. When you were in competition with them, when you were doing just being you, the empath that you are, you was just living your life, staying in your lane, being your authentic self. Did you ever feel like this person never supported you in anything that you were doing? but expected you to drop everything when they came up with another harebrained idea that deep down inside you're like, yeah, you're not putting any thought into this. You're not going to take any action. You're literally going to waste my time. But I'm going to tell you, if that keeps the arguments down, if that keeps me from walking on eggshells, hey, if there's the hope that I can get you back to the person that I saw in the beginning, then yes, we'll do that. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe that will fix the relationship. And here you go again. You are on vapors and you're literally waiting for the next exit on the highway. You on the damn needle is on the thing just going back and forth. Next exit, 22 miles. You're sitting there saying to yourself, do I have a gas can? Because I'm going to have to walk this. But that's what you're doing in this situation. This is exactly what you're doing in this situation. You're on empty. You literally have no more to give to this person. This person is making it clear that they're not understanding that. And they're going to keep on taking. They are going to keep on taking the last of your energy. How are they going to do it? They're going to start another argument. They're going to triangulate you against somebody else. They're just going to find new and inventive ways to make your life a living hell. Hold on one second. TT, thank you for joining. All about no, yes, it is, Dawn Marie. It is. It's always all about them. This is part of their disorder. Now, here's a somewhat easy way, without taking, of course, to get you on the first step, the first level, the first rung of understanding that you need to get free. Okay. At what point in a relationship did you feel emotionally safe? Ask yourself that question. And it's an important question. It's a very important question. When did you ever feel emotionally safe? That's important for human beings, especially if you're in a relationship, that you feel emotionally safe. Your partner is there for you. You're there for them. When did that dynamic play out in this situationship with you? Blessed says the love bombing stage. And then again, we know, due to research, again, not me making it up, the love bombing stage definitely wasn't real. It was a process to get you on the hook. Basically, a fisherman going through his tackle box saying, okay, what I'm looking for striped bass, being the empath, what bait am I going to use today to ensure that I fill up my boat with striped bass? That's what the love bombing stage is. Phase one, as I like to call it, because if phase one doesn't work, you're not going to get trapped. I say this a lot. Everything is done on purpose. Nothing is, hey, Jess, what's going on? Nothing is done by accident or it just kind of happened that way. They do this on purpose. If you don't understand, I need you to understand this one thing. The narcissist has been practicing this deception, this anarchy from a very early age. They have been testing people, seeing what works, what doesn't work. And then when they run across an empath, the flip side of themselves, they know one thing for sure. That empath is going to keep on trying. So, like around their teen years, they just like, I got to get this down pat. These empaths are freaking awesome. They help me keep that shame down because they're going to keep on trying to not only fix the relationship, but they're going to try to fix me. I know that's wasted energy, but hey, listen, I got to keep this shame down. I don't think any person, whether they be empath or not, should find themselves in a dynamic where the person that they love and claims that they are loving the empath back. You should find yourself in a situation where this person has no no goal but to destroy you. It's like a really sick spy movie. That's what secret agents do. They go infiltrate and try to destroy the person that actually trusts them. The narcissist uses your trust against you. The narcissist uses your love against you. The narcissist uses the inner empath in you to always try to fix things. They use that against you. They weaponize that. And like I think I realized this at the beginning of the week. I'm like, well, the narcissist has been practicing this their whole life. I know this. Research shows this. Like I say, once they make that choice, again, it's not me talking, it is actually truth. This is truth. This is studies and research. After they make that defining choice that the trauma that I experienced hurt me to the point that I want to hurt others, their physiology literally starts to change. This is science. It starts to change. The stuff that we as normal, not even empaths, but normal human beings take for granted, the way their brain is set up, doesn't work the same with the narcissist. They don't even, as far as mental health professionals are concerned, they don't even have a true core identity. It's what they call a fractured identity, where it's just bits and pieces of, well, this looks good. When that person said that, that sounded about right. When this person did this, it looked okay. And they just go through life picking bits and pieces of people. And then they throw it into their brain, and those little bits and pieces, their only job is to support the mask. And Love says, and you bring up a very valid point, you're not a victim. They came in to teach you self-love. But you got to heal first. Because as long as you are holding on to this ghost, you will not heal. I can guarantee it. Trust me, during my foray into the trauma bond, I was looking for easy ways. It's got to be an easy way. I'm an intelligent person, just like many of you. I'm very intelligent. I'm going to figure this out. I am going to figure this out. And then as a side project, I'm going to fix this person. I'm going to make this person the person. And it's so selfish because the reason why you're trying to fix them is not really to make them a better person. It's like you're desperate to get the person the illusion that you saw in the beginning. That's why you soon find out as you go through the devaluation stage of it, you soon find out, and you have to admit this, you realize like this was all an act. The things that I thought this person embodied, they don't embody. It's not in them. And then comes the really hard part. You usually find this out as you walk through, when you're walking through the door, when you're walking to freedom. You find out something that you never fell in love with them. You fell in love with yourself. They gave you, they took information from you, they sorted it out in your little disordered brain, and they gave you just what you needed to hold on. They know, since they're the flip side of empaths, they know that one thing that empaths, whether you admit it or not, is you always want to be seen. You kind of want to be understood. You want to take up space in a good way. The narcissist knows this. Everything that is like, it's like Superman and Bizarro, everything is the complete opposite with them. The empath wants to love and be loved. The narcissist wants to hate and destroy. The empath wants to reach becoming the best version of themselves. The narcissist just needs to keep that shame down because it's always there. It's a lifelong journey for them. Keep the shame down. And they have found out that the easiest way to do that is to hurt somebody else, which makes them feel grandiose, which makes them feel superior. In a sick way, if I can hurt someone, I must be more powerful than them. I must be stronger than them. I must be more intelligent than them. So yes, they know what they're doing. And phase one, like I said, it's like the ultimate con. And you know it wasn't real once you reach it. I mean, even if you didn't catch on during the devaluation, by the discard you knew. You knew that you had to be a warm body. Go look at my page. I've got posts about what the narcissist sold to you, text posts, and people like 9,000 replies. And people will say things like discard is the correct word because they just threw me to the side like they never knew me. What normal human being, what normal functional human being does that? Just throw somebody 5, 10, 20, 25 years like you never existed. Like they don't even know your last name. And then they go and now they found the one. We tend to forget that in the beginning we were the one. After they got rid of the old supply, we became the one. It's a cycle. It goes over and over and over again. That's why I had to make what I do resolution based because I found myself, we're going through the same stories over and over again. And most of us know that it's always the same. There's no happy ending with a narcissist. If there were, people would be posting it all day on social media. My narcissist changed. My narcissist is healed. I didn't think I was going to get the relationship back. But yes, hey, what's up, Deborah? I didn't think I was going to get the relationship back. But look at them. They're back. They're back. It doesn't happen. It never will happen. You would be better off waiting for the nuclear reaction that goes on in the sun to stop. It's not going to happen. And you know this deep down inside. Remember this word, clarity. I'm going to need you to remember this word. Hey, Deborah, because, and I'm going to tell you something. Not only is it the access to check out and saving yourself a ton of money on, now I've got 6 courses out there, but the system, the narcissistic relationship decoder system, that's it. That's it. I think as of now, that's the best thing that I've ever created. And it literally costs as much as the other course, but the other courses have certain things. I had to write a course about contact and controlled access. Why? Because that's a real thing that we go through. Everybody says no contact, no contact, no contact. But what if that isn't possible? What if you've got a business with this person? What if you own property? What if you own houses? What if you have children with them? How does no contact work? Once again, something that I had to go out there and figure out on my own. I had to figure it out. Because when you get this far in your healing, when you get to the point where your nervous system actually accepts peace, it doesn't look at peace and quiet as being a threat. It looks at something like, oh, this is a peaceful day. I love when I have days like that. But through that whole relationship, I never had a peaceful day whatsoever. That's what I said. Tell me what 48 hours that you had where the narcissist passed the love bombing stage. Tell me when you had a good 48 hours. Now 48 hours is all around. Happy-go-lucky. But at first, an hour's worth of peace was foreign to me. It hurt. It literally hurt. The peace hurt. The quiet hurt because my nervous system wasn't used to it. It had bonded itself to the safety. I always talk about opioids because that's how they work. They bind the opioids. That's why they're so hard for people to get out of. They bind themselves to you. They become a part of you. Your body sees it as safety. That's what happened with the narcissist, that intermittent reinforcement. Let's go back to the front of the ranch. They do everything on purpose. They know what they're doing when they're yanking the rug up from under you and then coming back and giving you a hug. They're doing that on purpose. They know what they're doing when they're devaluing you and then coming back and saying nice things out the blue. They know exactly what they're doing. It's a stress test to see how much you, as the empath, can literally take before breaking. And just when you're about to break in, we've all been, life through my thank you for joining, we've all been through this. Just when we were at our wits' end, just about when we're thinking about, well, Alaska will be a good place to go. Any place as far away as possible from this person would be great to go. And just when you're at that thought, that's when they come back around. That's when they, yes, Blessed has it right. Some mental, that's actually what they call it, push and pull. Intimate reinforcement. And it works on our nervous system the same way that opioids work on those people. But here's the deal. Once you decide to heal, here's the thing. Let's put it in common sense terms. Once you decide to heal, once you're going through withdrawal from this person, how many of you think that it's wise to go see what they're doing? Because to me, that's essentially keeping, as the kids say, the plug on speed dial. You're trying to stop doing this stuff. The first thing you need to do is you need to delete the number from the plug. Not delete it, then write it down. Not delete it, then make a voice memo. Delete it. That's the first stage. Because you have to come to the point where you have to admit, the plug, this person is not good for my healing. The plug is not going to help my healing because the plug has something invested in me not healing. That's the narcissist. They're invested in you not healing. That's why they go on social media and put on a show. That's why they start the smear campaign. That's why they try to hoover you back in. Because the narcissist is in the way of your healing. They want to be in the way of your healing. They don't want to be a little bit in the way. They want to be completely in the way. That's why they need to, thank you, Marie, for joining, and thank you for agreeing, Dawn Marie. This is why they need you. Again, everything is plotted out. They want you to look at their social media. They want you to not block them. Because they need access to you to make sure that you're not healing. See, the narcissist in their mind, they can't. This is why it is spiritual warfare. As an empath, they can't have you get back on your feet. They cannot have you get back on your feet. Do you know why? How does that work out in spiritual warfare? How does that work out with good versus evil? If you get back on your feet, if you reclaim your identity, if you start living your authentic self, guess what? I make it super simple. You're going to go back to doing great things. You are going to go back to doing great things. Dawn Marie says they want your anger. Of course they do. And Blessed says they've been found out. That's what we're doing here. This is why we're not rehashing all the stories. I get it. I'm not dismissing your pain because a lot of your pain I've actually experienced. However, I believe that pain is relevant to the person. I know my cat is just crazy. My cat hates me to be on live. Really does. Get some kind of attitude or something. Go sit down. Don't look at me and blink. Anywho, when you think about the world the way that it is, and I don't care what side of the political pond you tend to swim on, we have to all admit that it's not turning out the way that we expected. It's not turning out the way that we wanted. Some of us are very scared. We don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. We don't. This is why empaths are needed. This is why you're needed. See, I don't care if the rest of the world doesn't see who you are. I see who you are. I understand what you are. I understand why the narcissist is doing this to you. I understand why they're continuing to make your life a living hell. I understand why, because you are important. The one thing they needed you to forget, again, look at spiritual warfare, they needed you to forget how pivotal you are. Love says, I just want peace in my heart and mind. Don't we all? Yes, blessed hit it right on the nose. As an empath, if you are imbalanced, if you are confused, as I like to call it, if you are on tilt, how can you be of assistance to others? As we look at the term empath, you are chosen. You are chosen. You know what, at this stage of the game, whatever keeps you a positive person and you believe in, I'm 100% for. Okay, whatever your faith is, your faith is. Okay, but I'm going to tell you something. Throughout history, there have been people that have been put amongst us, the empath, that has made lasting, positive change. That's why it's spiritual warfare, because the narcissists can't have that happen. They literally signed a deal with whatever evil spirit is out there. They literally sign a deal, whether they use a pen, a Sharpie, or prick their finger. They signed a deal. And in return, because they're manipulators, I'm going to tell you, you can't lie about this. They're manipulators. They'll manipulate people out of anything. Okay? They signed this deal and they were told, I will allow you to manipulate. Here's your playbook. Whatever you can get is yours, but I need you to go out there and destroy these empaths. Because I can't do what I need to do as long as these empaths are walking around, as long as they are staying confident, as long as they are being of assistance to others. I can't have that. That's the monkey wrench. So I need you to go out there. I said these stats last night. There's literally roughly about 6% of the world's population, almost 8 billion people, that are narcissists. Look at that, number 6. Okay, just bear with me. 6% are narcissists. Now, there is no diagnosis officially, but most people say, if you look at the numbers, thank you, Divine, thank you so much for the gift. If you look at the numbers, there on this planet, these 8 billion people, 30% of them are considered to be empaths. How come one narcissist can go through their life and destroy sometimes 5 empaths in a lifetime? This is why they're demons. They're demons. Nobody wakes up in the morning, brushes their teeth, turns on the shower, and says to themselves, who am I going to destroy today? Normal human beings don't do that, and they will never do that. Empaths, we definitely don't do that. But the narcissist does. So do you not think that this is not spiritual warfare? Do you not think that you have a purpose that is so great, whether you understand it or not? A purpose that is so great that another human being feels that your life, you're not, I don't want to get blocked, sometimes that, but your light must be extinguished. I see some of y'all are starting to get it. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes the universe or higher power, they are very tricky. Because some of you, many of you have a gift that you have no clue that you have, that is so strong, so necessary, so needed, that sometimes send a narcissist your way. Just to make you understand. Just to see if you are ready for, I have no purpose. I'm not even going to feed into that, Lady P. I have no purpose. I want to die. Don't feed into that. Don't feed into that. So Whether you understand your purpose or not, whether you have been given the understanding of what you're here to do, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes it's the best way. I love the fact that I stumbled into this. I hate the fact that I had to deal with that last damn narcissist. I hate that. But you know, who am I to question the mechanics of the universe? Who am I to question that? Because I have to admit, it made me stronger. It made me. It made me so that I could see past the illusion, the lie. That's what we're all in every faith. We are warned of the great deceiver. Is the narcissist not the great deceiver? If not one of the greatest that is walking around right now amongst us? So here's the deal. I can talk about this until nighttime. I can stay here for 4, 5, 6 hours and I can point out all the facts. But I'm going to tell you something and I need you to listen closely. You already know all of this. Let's be honest with ourselves. You knew this. So why do you feel you're still going through a trauma bond if you know this? You gotta let go. They've proven to you each and every stage. Stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. They prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I get it. In an empath, hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. But if you don't admit it, you will, it's essentially like putting on a bicycle, putting a patch. You know, I don't know if you guys remember, you take the wheel off, take out the inner tube, find out where the hole is, and put a patch on it. That's not going to last forever. Probably will not make it through the summer. And you know that already. You're going to have to, sooner or later, go get a new inner tube. You know, that's what you're doing if you don't do the radical acceptance thing. You're putting a patch on it. You're making yourself able to go to work. You're making yourself able to, you know, I can go to parties and I won't be Debbie or Dan Downer anymore. I can paint a smile on my face. You know this. So what's holding you back? Today, I done got so far off track. I really want 100 because I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing it on FB. This is why I'm doing it on YT. That's why I'm doing it here. I want 100 people that are ready to let go of the ghost. I need 100 people that are ready to let go of the illusion. I need 100 empaths. Thank you, Divine. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. I need 100 people that are ready to say, I'm important. Because I'm going to tell you something. While you were in that dynamic, did you ever feel important? See, I see you right now, but did the narcissist see you as a person, as a human being, as somebody that went past just being supplied? Did they see you? What I'm offering here is not a system. I'm not offering you a course. What I'm offering you is a ticket to freedom. I said, you've gotten free. You've gotten on a train. Freedom is this way. You're going this way. And you're hoping that the train will get to the last stop and just come back around. Yet and still, people are constantly putting in my lives, I wasted so much time. Now you have the opportunity to stop wasting time. The blueprint is my bio. Remember that word that I told you to remember? Clarity. Clarity. Now you're going to get there. You're going to see. Like, whoa, Minister Robinson, chill, son. I got bills to pay this month. But then you're going to put in the word clarity. And you're like, hey, this is nothing. I can do this. I can do this. Hell, this might be cheaper than going to a therapist with my copay. However, let me be honest here. I think I meant that as a joke, but let me correct that. If you ever feel that you've reached the point that you need to speak to a mental health professional, please go do it. Don't go leave this live, make some phone calls, call up your GMO and say, hey, listen, I need to speak to somebody. I need a therapist. Do that. I will never, ever try to push a course down your throat and not have you visit. I'm not even going to sit up there and do a consultation with you. We're not even going to do a coaching session. If you ever say in that thing, I'm thinking about going to see a therapist, I'm going to write you right back and say, please go do that and then speak to me after. See, I see you. I understand. I understand that thought when you say to yourself, I am going freaking crazy. Because you're going crazy because you love this person that is making it clear that, hey, thank you, Sweet Tooth 03, that is making it clear that all of the energy that you are pouring into them, you are never going to get back. And you know that already. After the love bombing stage, you already know all of the investment. You're not going to get a return on it. You're not going to get a return on it. It's like opening a laundromat, getting all your licenses, getting the state certificate, getting everything done, getting new machines, walking out, locking the door, and going home for a month. Where's your return? Do you think you're going to get a return on investment? Do you? Because just like that laundromat sitting there doing nothing, waiting for you to open the door and let customers in, let freedom back in so that you can get a return on your investment, walk away. Walk away. The last 2 nights, I broke down the DSM-5. I think I did that Thursday night. Friday night, we talked about the 5 different types of narcissists. I'm not here to diagnose anybody's relationship at all whatsoever. I would be wrong for doing that because I'm not in your home. I'm not seeing these conversations. I'm not hearing these things. I'm not, but you are. So what I tend to do is give you the tools so that you can understand. It's not my decision to make. It's not my decision to tell you that you're emotionally hurt. You know that. You're the one that has to admit, I don't feel safe here. I don't feel loved here. I don't feel like this person cares about me. You've got to make that decision. There's nothing under God's green earth that's going to help me make that decision for you. So you have the tools. The DSM-5, all you got to do is type in DSM-5 NPD. You'll get a sheet, use that as a cheat sheet. Walk around for a day and just monitor how they treat you. Monitor how they're making you feel. Hit 5 of those, I want to say that's a safe bet. In this day and age, these demons are so nefarious that they usually hit all 9. When I went over the DSM-5 Thursday night, you will be surprised at the people that are saying, yeah, this one does all of that. You're not imagining this. You never were imagining it. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. King. I appreciate you. You're not imagining this ish. This is real. It's you that's saying it can't be real. There's some women out there that are crying themselves to sleep every night because they don't know what's wrong with their partner. It's like, what the hell happened? I thought they loved me. I know I love them. Why are they treating me this way? There's a guy out there right now saying, I'm doing everything that I can. There's nothing else I can do except open up a vein and give them sanguine fluid. There's nothing else I can do. Why do they act this way? Why are they treating me this way? Why are they making me feel this way? And they're doing a face plant the whole night. You're seen here. I understand it. Divine says they turn everyone on us. I'm going to tell you a little secret. They've been manipulating people for so long that some of the people that they introduced you to was just smiling in your face. Because they know. They've been with this person longer than you have. They know how it turns out. It never turns out different. It never turns out different. So yeah, the people that they've been around for years, the automatic flying monkeys, they've seen this take place so many times it's not funny. They're like, oh, I see you not with that one again. Who you got now? Whose life you going to destroy now? Who are we going to have to run out there and lie on for you now? This is real. I would like to say that it's a Hollywood movie, but I can't. This is literally Mortal Kombat. That's what it is. It's the boys on steroids. This is real. Thank you, Geek02130. Thank you for joining. This is real. Don't think it's not. Well, you can't think it's not because you've lived through it. You have lived through it. I just need you on the other side, boots on the ground. Because I'm going to tell you, we got a whole bunch of work to do. We have a whole bunch of work to do. Whether you're scrolling through TikTok, whether you watch the news, whether you're peeking out your window, you know the world, it's on a roller coaster and it's going straight down. The world going straight down. Somebody's got to fix it. I don't think the narc is going to volunteer. What do you think? What do you think? Hey, Keo, thank you for joining and thank you for the love so much. And the Go Popular Divine, thank you so much. You know, do you think they're going to fix it? Be honest. What have they done for you in a relationship? So what makes you think they're going to do anything for the world at large? Yeah, to keep the mask on, they do little things for little people, but that's just for show. You know, that's the narcissist that you see someone homeless on the corner and just stares at them until the light changes and now the block is full of people like, here, do you need something to eat? Think about that for a second. You are needed. I need you guys healed up. If you're ready, and this is not a hard sell, like I said, go up to my bio, click that link, use the code CLARITY. If that doesn't work for you, if you ain't got it, I'm not going to gatekeep. Say, Minister Robinson, please send me free resources to help me. I mean that. It's just me messaging you back a link for free. I don't even want to capture your email. Because it's more important that we have people on the ground that are healed, because what happens to a healed empath is they start living in their purpose. Some of them start pulling other people out of hell. See, that's a wonderful thing. That is such a wonderful thing when you can escape hell and say, you know what? I can't leave these people back here. And you run back and start bringing people out. That's a wonderful thing. Sometimes that is the purpose that your higher power gave you. You know, Devon. Oh, y'all talking to each other. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is what I need you guys to understand. I pray for the day to come. I'm thinking that you're saying you pray for the day. It all begins with choice. Everything begins with choice. One of my favorite lines from The Matrix, and it's not red pill, blue pill. That's not my favorite line. The favorite line was in Matrix 2, where Neo's sitting in the park with the Oracle. Okay, and if you're an empath and you know that you're chosen, this is going to ring so true with you. So Neo's talking to, I get the line that Neo says before it, but the Oracle turns around and says, we're all here to do what we're all here to do. And I mean, I sat in the movie theater. I wanted to go to the projector room like, no, you got to play that back, because that hit me at my core. As an empath, that hit me. And you know how long ago that was? I mean, if I'm online and someone plays that clip, sometimes I listen to it 2 or 3 times because it reminds me of something very important, very critical, something that we need to understand. As a chosen one, as an empath, We're all here to do what we're all here to do. Isn't that beautiful? When you think about it, the simplicity of it, but the power within it. And when you say that to yourself, when you're doing your hair, when you're shaving, when you're brushing your teeth, and you stop for a second, you say, we're all here to do what we're all here to do. How does that feel? Say it to yourself right now. How does that feel? Does that not feel amazing? Does that not feel that you are seen? Does it not feel like your higher power? Hey, listen, I don't even know what the hell I doubted you for because you've got me right on track. That's how it felt when I first heard it. And there was actually a time period when I would do videos and I took that clip and it was part of my assets. At the end of each video, I would put that there. We're all here to do what we're all here to do. So everything has a purpose, even the narcissist. Sometimes the narcissist is put there because you know how high powers work. You always get the test before the lesson. And I think it's kind of important that it happens that way for some of us. The sad thing is many get stuck in the test. They keep on failing it. They keep on failing it. They keep on failing it because they're believing the lies. They're believing the gaslighting. They're believing the love bombing. And they're finding themselves trapped. And that's where those statements come from. I wasted so much time. Well, what if I told you that if you made the decision to choose yourself, you're not wasting time? In fact, that's the best utilization of your time. Feeding back into yourself. Understanding. And let's just say for a moment that you don't have a narcissist in your life. You just got somebody with badass upbringing. Think about that for a second. If you took a break and found yourself, would that be a bad thing? Think about that for a second. If you took a break and just found yourself, and this is based on you being emotionally confused in the dynamic. I'm a firm believer that if you're in a relationship, I think past the age of like 22, if you're in a relationship, I think you're forward future thinking. No other way but forward. I think that's the thing. Especially in your late 20s, 30s, even your 40s, you're thinking, you know what? I want this one to last. And this is where the empath gets trapped because we walk into this. I never walked in. I think after like the age of 25, 26, I never walked into a relationship with an expiration date. Never came to mind. That's one of those things where people just need to be adults talk and say, hey, listen, I'm not looking for nothing long term. I'm just trying to pass time. And some people get that, some people don't. There's a whole bunch of people that works for them. I don't want to invest in a relationship right now. I want to have a little bit of fun, but I don't want that investment. You know. But you reach an age where you stop looking at people as people just to hang out with and spend a few, moments with. And you start looking for people that you can have wheelchair races in the park together. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's be honest here. And love says, yes, honesty goes a long way. You want to have that relationship where you're sitting there saying, nah, I'm going to go first. And they're like, no, I'm going to go first. And hey, let's just hope that the universe says that we go together. That's what most of us want. But like I said, the narcissist is cold and calculated. They put an expiration date on that relationship from the word go. That moment that they realize that you're an empath, and the moment that microsecond, I like to say plank time. I do watch a lot of you know, cosmic, astrophysics stuff and stuff like that. And plank time, for people that don't understand, it's like creation, the Big Bang. It's like a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second. And for that billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second, the narcissist, when they met you as an empath, because they know what you are, that's what I said, everything is strategic. They always feel every empath that they run into has the potential to make them normal because they know that they're not normal. They know this. They know that there's something broken inside of them. They're just not going to fix it. They've just been having too much fun doing this. And like I said, their physiology changed once they made the choice to walk this path. So there's a moment where the narcissist literally thinks that you're their savior, for real, for real. And then after that plank time goes away, they just say, you know what? Just because I thought that gives me all the more reason why I need to destroy you. You know. And Tina asked you asked a very, very important question. Do narcissistic moms pass this on to their daughters? It's I usually tend to use the word caregiver, okay, because narcissism it's not gender specific at all. I just actually was watching something on YouTube the other day about this. And I think I love there's this woman called Clarity Over Chaos. I love her videos. She always hits it right on the nose in under 2 minutes. Um, yes, because what happens is that usually causes the trauma because the child feels abandoned. You have to remember, children have like two basic needs: love and be loved. That's it. And they can't get that for whatever reason. The mother or the father or the caregiver just puts them in an adult role. So they never get to enjoy their childhood. And if the caregiver is narcissistic, they're being forced to regulate an adult's emotions. So that skews them even more. They really don't have a childhood. Usually you'll find these dynamics where there's like a whole bunch of kids. This is the older girl child, and they're forced to take care of these children while the caregiver does whatever they want to do or whatever they have to do. But this child tends to not get a break. They become responsible. They now take on adult responsibilities. And they soon find that how they feel doesn't matter. See that emotional scarring. They find out that hey, I feel this way. They can't go to the caregiver that just dumped all this responsibility on them and say, hey, listen, I'm feeling kind of burnt out, or I'm feeling this, or this is happening, and the caregiver says, that's not important. The same way empaths feel because we go through the same thing. Most empaths have narcissistic caregivers. But people need to understand this. Cause and effect, is just like the glue that holds this reality together. A meteor cascade of events. Um, on a human level, the way that we deal with cause and effect is called choice. If you notice, you spend the whole day making choices. You think you're not conscious of them, but you are. Your brain is just using all the information it has, and it says, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is the choice that I'm going to make. Um, and it's like the supercomputer part of us. So when the empath experience, well, let's just say two children. So we have two children, and they both, let's just say they both experience this trauma. Now it's a choice. Okay. The choice becomes, am I going to hurt people because I was hurt? Or am I going to be more caring? The empath usually goes with the caring thing because they don't want people to feel the pain that they felt. The narcissist figures somebody's got to pay for this. So I hope that does answer it. But I think, 98% of the dynamics is due to the caregiver. There are other things that can create a narcissist or empath in a young child. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to the choice that that child makes. Um, and hopefully that does make sense. So yeah, let's go a little bit deeper. I saw another question. Um, he begged me when I wasn't with him and came back after 8 months, 6 months later, married. Modest Lady K. I guess we might as well go over some of these concepts again. And I think I think you've been in a couple of lives. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain it again. The narcissist literally looks at you as their pet goldfish. So, what's the amount of attention you give a goldfish if you've ever had a pet goldfish? Not too much. You just know you've got to feed it every once in a while. You know, every once in a while you got to change the bowl. This is how the narcissist looks at you. There's no emotional connection. However, on the flip side, they need to feel that they're in control of you, just like the goldfish. See, the goldfish can't jump out of the tank, go get the little shaker of food and feed itself. It's not happening. You know, a cat or a dog can, will escape. Like, you ain't feeding me, I'm the hell out of here. I got to get some food. Next time you leave that window open, I'm chewing through the screen. I'm out. Goldfish can't do that. It cannot do that. And the narcissist likes to think of anybody that they come in contact with, especially empaths. They like to think that they have an investment in you to the point that they own you, and they don't feel that you should ever go anyplace. This is a booby trap that I talked about this last night. This is literally a booby trap that they plant in your mind. Part before the discard, part of the intermittent reinforcement is to build the secret back door in your brain. This is why you still, after you've left, after you've seen through your mask, after you realize that they're a demon or at the very least a super horrible person, after you realize this, you still feel like you're poked to them. You keep on making excuses. You keep on saying, maybe they're right. Maybe I was being too sensitive. Maybe I was being too emotional. You're making excuses for them. That's the back door, slowly opening. So when they call you that time and you're like, hello, and they might call, like after I left my note, I got so many, block number calls. I'm not answering that. I never answer block numbers. I'm going to respect your privacy. But I got so many of them, that I was like, wow, we going hard at this. We going super hard at this. So yeah, they're going to do that just to see if they can get you back. Yeah, we started at 4:44. It's 5:55. Wow, the universe is talking to us right now, baby. The universe is breaking it down. So yeah, and they'll call you up. Oh, I butt dialed you. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to call somebody else. You will get all of this stuff, that makes no sense, but you're going to entertain it because you're thinking that this is a sign that they got better. Forgetting rule number one, they never get better. It's like Fight Club. Rule number one, they're never going to get better. Rule number two, you don't talk about the fact that you think that they're going to get better. Rule number three, they're never going to get better. If you keep it simple, sometimes that kind of works. Now, I have to, because there's probably somebody out there that is literally ready to heal. Remember the word clarity, okay? Because that's going to drop it to I think almost 70% off, okay? I want you to get this course. If you're ready to let go of the ghost, I want you to get this course. I want you to just take a chance of reclaiming your identity, reclaiming your peace. It has got, and it's not just, a few videos. It's a lot. It's a workbook. It's a customized GPT that is not available to the public that I actually sat down and built, okay, to help you figure this out, to help you get clarity. When you're having those conversations or those back and forth text messages, you can copy it, paste it into the GPT, and it will analyze it for you. And sometimes you can ask it, how do you think I should respond? Based on gray rock or based on yellow rock. Why not? Why wouldn't you want something like that? So yeah, and the begging, just to answer your question completely, the begging is future faking. If they didn't change before they left, what clue did they give you that they were going to change after they left while they're parading around with the new supply? Think about that. And Jaden, I don't know why you show up here. Hey, Jaden, just look up in people's profiles and you'll probably find somebody's Cash App that and send it to them. Then don't do the back and forth with them. Yeah, so Jaden is here to bless 5 lucky people. So hopefully, who did I send an invitation to? Oh my God. I swear, my phone has been acting crazy like forever. Dang, I just invited somebody in. But like I said, we talked about a lot today, and we talked about a lot of important things. But the most important thing is that you decide to reclaim your peace. I can't tell you to do that. Why would you listen to me? Look at the ghost. Like even for a little while. Say you need space. If you're emotionally confused, there's nothing wrong with saying that you need space. Go ahead and get the system. It sits up in my bio. Use the code clarity. Work through it. Once you get clarity, then you decide. Then you decide if should I go? Should I try harder? But you've got to make that decision. And again, as always, if you feel that, hey, I don't want to take a course, I need to speak to somebody, go ahead and find yourself a therapist. Go ahead. You know, if you look at the link in my bio and you know somebody that's going through this, um, you could gift it to them. It will go, they will get access to everything if you send it to their email. You could be that person because some of us sometimes, once we get clear, we do have friends and family. Once we are healed, we see that they're dealing with a narcissist. But just like us, they won't listen to a damn thing we got to say. They don't. They think they know it all. They think that their narc isn't a narc. You can always get it for them and gift it to them. Like I said, the goal is to actually set 100 empaths free. I might get on a little bit later tonight, but I think we've talked about a lot. I think we've done a lot. Um, I think we got that one word, clarity. And that's a very important word, you know. And I gotta stop it from auto posting because it be making music all loud and everything. But yeah, the blueprint, the system is in my bio. If you want stuff, I have a lot of free resources. Just hey, what's up, John? Just send me a message, okay, to my account because once I close out here, I can't retrieve these messages. Send me a message and tell me a little bit about what you're going through. I can almost guarantee I have a resource to help you get through it, and to help you understand it. Course up in the bio, the narcissistic relationship decoder. It will decode everything for you, and you won't be left to guessing. I put a lot of work into that too. Maybe tonight I'll talk about the freaking real talk no other way because I'm still excited about that. And I think that's going to be a worthy project, and I think some of y'all want to be part of it. You know. And if you get it due to this live, the system allows you to send me a message. I will actually put you on the web page. I will. So not only do you get the beta at a huge discount, but I will put you on the official Real Talk No Other Way page as a supporter. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Anything to get you MFers healing, okay? Because I need y'all. I need y'all boots on the ground. Remember, we're all here to do what we're all here to do. Keep healing. Stay powerful. Love you guys.